Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode here. Right now, we got a lot to discuss here regarding Hangouts. Now, already, we pretty much seen this coming. A lot of people can say it's no surprise. This was going to happen because Hangouts hasn't had any attention well over a few years now, and along with Google but they actually did it already. Taking Hangouts Enterprise and making part of G Suite and make it for businesses. We're now at that point where it's time to say goodbye. So, initially, it's being announced all over the internet that Google has pulled the trigger on Hangouts. Hangouts will cease in 2019. And it's a bit sad. It's very sad to see Hangouts go. From what initially Google was trying to do with it. As you remember now, a lot of Android users was like, hey Google, what about us? Apple has an all-in-one messaging type service. When are we going to get something like this? And Google Plus Messenger was turned into...
I don't understand.
My Google Home went off. But it got turned into from G Plus messaging to Hangouts. And for a time it was okay. I mean, I think I remember the very first backlash of Hangouts is when it became a default messaging app on Android. So when the Nexus 5, I believe at the time, launched, it had Hangouts as its default SMS application. And that's where a lot of the backlash kind of came in. I noticed a lot of people were upset. They didn't like the idea of it. They wanted the regular stock SMS app. And so then Google, being what they were, went ahead and made Messages, and then they changed it to Android Messages. But along the road of doing this, they developed Allo and Duo, which, by the way, are really good services from Google. I have to say, I use Allo, I use Duo, and it's so hard too, because when you look at Allo and Duo, you see what Hangouts could have been. Like from time to time, I'll video chat on Hangouts and see just how choppy and distorted the video call would be, and I get frustrated and like, oh my god, this is so painful to have to deal with. And then I go to Duo and I'm like, wow, this is seamlessly good. This is seamlessly smooth. You know, the video calling is just outstanding. And then I go to Allo and I'm like, I do have a fun time using Allo as my default chat. And as much as I would love for it to support native carrier SMS, I am afraid to ask Google to do this because I don't know if it's going to be implemented well. That's my fear. That is my ultimate fear of Allo, if they were to ever implement SMS. But then I started to notice that a lot of the things you can do on Allo are starting to be brought into Android Messages. And I wonder if Allo was just a beta test for how Android Messages is going to be. Because right now, Android Messages has a chat type feel to it, besides SMS. And a lot of the stickers and stuff you can do on Allo, you could do on Android Messages already. So, with those things being there, it is, and still in my opinion, still sad that Hangouts is going to go. Like, I have already made the full jump into Google Fi. I use the services as my mobile service provider. And Hangouts was a way that I can use any of my other unlocked devices and be able to make calls and things like that. Like, I have data-only SIM cards from Google Fi, which I love. And I pop those into, my Nextbit Robin, my Honor 8. So I carry those devices with me in case if I ever need a backup device. I have those. And Hangouts is what I would use to be able to make calls and text through my Google Fi number. If I didn't, if, say, my main daily driver device, my Moto X4, ran out of battery, and I didn't have my power bank, I could whip out my Nextbit Robin, open up Hangouts, dial a phone call. It calls out as my Google Fi number, and I can make phone calls over data. that's through Hangouts. So what am I going to use once Hangouts is completely dead to the average consumers? And that's what frustrates me. This is what really frustrates me about Google. Like, all intents, purposes, I like Google. I'm immersed in their ecosystem. I have the Home Assistant. I have a Chromebook with Chrome OS. I run devices that run Android. I have an Nexus player for entertainment on my TV. But the one thing that I really, really grinds my gears about Google, what really just gets under the skin, and I don't know if my Home Assistant is going to respond, is it's listening right now. It's actually listening to me. No, just kidding. It really does listen. It's not something that's like, very type of thing. It works perfectly fine. But my thing is that they're killing off things that I feel like they shouldn't. Like Inbox. Okay, I get it. Inbox by Gmail. I get that they want to kill it off because they want the focus to be on Gmail. But Inbox was so good. It organized your emails by what the email was. Why can't this be implemented in Gmail? Why couldn't they do this for Gmail? Like, I can sit there and I can deal with if they announce they're killing off Inbox because they finally got something good here and they're going to implement that into their main app, Gmail. But they didn't do it. They didn't do it. They just killed off Inbox and left Gmail as it is. And then look at Google+. I do not know where they got their statistics from, but I highly doubt that the average G+ user was only on the app for 5 seconds or less. Because I use it daily, and I'm on there longer than 5 seconds, and I follow a ton of people on G+ that are on it religiously. Anyone from who plays Pokemon Go, they're always posting, they're always on there. Anyone about mobile technology, they're on there. The astronomers, the photographers, like I follow a lot of things on G+, and this is why it's so heavy on my heart that they're going to kill Google+. Because where will I go? Where will I go for social networking? I don't want to go to Facebook. I'm already on Facebook and I barely use the thing, but I'm forced to having to try and create some sort of social networking with it because I don't know where the hell to go. I could go to Twitter. I'm active on Twitter. And then what really kills me is when they go on there and they say, oh, well, Google is going to go ahead and implement where you as a G user would be able to submit your own comments and posts on websites. That's not what Google Plus was for. Google Plus was never for anyone to submit feedback on the website. It was our own social network where we didn't have to deal with all what the other social networks were doing. We weren't bombarded with idiotic ads and idiotic see what kind of Disney character you are or what your name means in this. We weren't cluttered. We weren't cluster effed with all of that kind of stuff. We had a social network site that was clean, clear, and useful. You could network business-wise. You can meet interesting people. You can find something that you were interested in. Communities built by the masses and joined and make new friends. You had a lot of good functionality out of it. And because of some idiotic move by their development team, as far as it being compromised security-wise, we're going to lose a big chunk. It's like they screwed up. Let's take it in context. Like it's a baker, right? They baked a pie. Okay? Now, the baker did not design the crust correctly, right? And so, rather than the baker just going in and fixing the pie or making a new pie, they're like, no, you can't eat the pie. You can't taste it. You're not allowed to taste it because we screwed up. Like, these are the things that this irks me really bad, and you guys probably can hear it in the way that I'm speaking, but it really irks the crap out of me. It really does, because it's like we get a taste of something good and then they take it away. And sometimes I just want to sit there and blow my own brains out. But I'm just saying, fix it. Why can't they fix it? Right? Hangouts. This is going to join the list of other applications that was great by Google. And yes, some of you guys may laugh and say, Hangouts wasn't great. It was an ugly green thing. Look, I'm not in it for the way that it looks. Yes, you do want something to be appealing, but the color green is not going to kill me. Okay? It had functionality. It was an all-in-one, and it's something that I utilize with my devices on the data-only SIM for Google Fi, and that's something that now I have to see what else is going to work. What else could I do? Are they killing out Hangouts because they're going to implement a lot of the things that Hangouts is into Allo and Duo? Is Allo and Duo going to merge with Android Messages and have that be our all-in-one messenger? Like what? Google, find a path, pick a path, walk down that path, and even if you hit a few bumps in the road, eat that up and keep moving forward. Stop backpedaling, sidewinding, and twist turning, because a lot of your consumers are getting aggravated and agitated on it. I am one of them, and I'm clearly saying this. This is not going to be a good look. If you continue to do these things, Google, you are doomed to shoot yourself in the foot, literally. And so that is it for this episode of the podcast for Friday. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. If you guys found me here on SoundCloud, thank you very much. Give a heart, leave a comment, share your thoughts. If you guys are listening to this on Spreaker, thank you so much for listening. Leave a comment of your thoughts. And if you found me on Google Podcasts, thank you so much for doing so. Follow the podcast so you never miss an episode. And so tomorrow morning, early in the morning, I will be hosting a live stream. Whether you're awake to watch it or you're part of the replay crew, I will be going further into this tomorrow morning. So we're going to have a little bit of fun. But until then, you guys are amazing. Big aloha from me to you. Stay blessed. And you guys will hear me in the next one. Have a great night.